The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Part 5. Aguamara. The man said, "You whore." From where he swung lightly against his oars, he looked down into the water and saw the tiny fish that were colored like the trailing filaments and swam between them and under the small shade the bubble made as it drifted. They were immune to its poison. But men were not, and when some of the filaments would catch on a line and rest there slimy and purple while the old man was working a fish, he would have welts and sores on his arms and hands of the sort that poison ivy or poison oak can give. But these poisonings from the Aquamara came quickly and struck like a whiplash. The iridescent bubbles were beautiful, but they were the falsest thing in the sea, as the old man loves to see the big sea turtles eating them. The turtles saw them, approached them from the front, then shut their eyes so they were completely carapaced and ate them, filaments and all. The old man loves to see the turtles eat them, and he loves to walk on them on the beach after a storm and hear them pop when he stepped on them with the horny soles of his feet. He loves green turtles and hawkbills with their elegance and speed and their great value, and he had a friendly contempt for the huge stupid loggerheads, yellow in their armor plating, strange in their love-making, and happily eating the Portuguese men-of-war with their eyes shut. He had no mysticism about turtles, although he had gone in turtle boats for many years. He was sorry for them all, even the great strong backs that were as long as the skiff and weighed a ton. Most people are heartless about turtles, because a turtle's heart will beat for hours after he had been cut up and butchered. But the old man thought, "I have such a heart too, and my feet and hands are like theirs." He ate the white eggs to give himself strength. He ate them all through May to be strong in September, and October for the truly big fish. He also drank a cup of shark liver oil each day, from the big drum in the shack where many of the fishermen kept their gear. It was there for all fishermen who wanted it. Most fishermen hated the taste, but it was no worse than getting up at the hours that they rose, and it was very good against all colds and grips, and it was good for the eyes. Now, the old man looked up and saw that the bird was circling again. "Here's flying fish," he said aloud. No flying fish broke the surface, as there was no scattering of bait fish. But as the old man watched, a small tuna rose in the air, turned and dropped head first into the water. The tuna shone silver in the sun, and after he had dropped back into the water, another and another rose, and they were jumping in all directions, churning the water and leaping in long jumps after the bait. They were circling it and driving it. "If they don't travel too fast, I will get into them," the old man thought, and he watched the school working the water white, as the bird now dropping and dipping into the bait fish that were forced to the surface in their panic. "The bird is a great help," the old man said. Just then, the stern line came taut under his foot, where he had kept a loop of the line, and he dropped his oars and felt the weight of the small tuna's shivering pull as he held the line firm and commenced to haul it in. The shivering increased as he pulled in, and he could see the blue back of the fish in the water, and the goal of his sight before he swung him over the side and into the boat. He lay in the stern in the sun, compact and bullet-shaped. his big unintelligent eyes staring as he thumped his knife out against the planking of the boat with the quick shivering strokes of his neat fast-moving tail. The old man hit him on the head for kindness, and kicked him, his body still shuddering under the shade of the stern.
Albacore,
he said aloud.
He'll make a beautiful bait. He'll weigh 10 pounds.
He did not remember when he had first started to talk aloud, when he was by himself. He had sung when he was by himself in the old days, and he had sung at night sometimes when he was alone steering on his watch in the smacks or in the turtle boats. He had probably started to talk aloud when alone, when the boy had left, but he did not remember. When he and the boy fished together, they usually spoke only when it was necessary. They talked at night, or when they were storm-bound by bad weather. It was considered a virtue not to talk unnecessarily at sea, and the old man had always considered it so, and respected it. But now he said his thoughts aloud many times, since there was no one that they could annoy.
If the others heard me talking out loud, they would think that I am crazy,
he said aloud.
But since I'm not crazy, I do not care. And the rich have radios to talk to them in their boats and to bring them the baseball.
Now is no time to think of baseball, he thought. Now is the time to think of only one thing, that which I was born for. There might be a big one around that school, he thought. I picked up only a straggler from the albacore that were feeding, but they were working far out and fast. Everything that shows on the surface today travels very fast, and to the northeast. Can that be the time of day? Or is it some sign of weather that I do not know? He could not see the green of the shore now, but only the tops of the blue hills that showed white as though they were snow-capped, and the clouds that looked like high snow mountains above them. The sea was very dark, and the light made prisms in the water. The myriad flecks of the plankton were annulled now by the high sun, and it was only the great steep prisms in the blue water that the old man saw now, with his lines going straight down into the water that was a mile deep. The tuna. The fishermen caught all the fish of that species tuna, and only distinguished among them by their proper names when they came to sell them or to trade them for baits. We're down again. The sun was hot now, and the old man felt it on his back of his neck, and felt the sweat trickle down his back as he rowed. I could just drift, he thought, and sleep and put a bite of line around my toe to wake me. But today is 85 days, and I should fish today well. Just then, watching his lines, he saw one of the projecting green sticks dip sharply.
Yes,
he said.
Yes,
and shipped his oars without bumping the boat. He reached it out for the line and held it softly between the thumb and forefinger of his right hand. He felt no strain nor weight, and he held the line lightly. Then it came again. This time, it was a tentative pull, not solid nor heavy, and he knew exactly what it was. 100 fathoms down, a marlin was eating the sardines that covered the pond, and the shank of the hook, where the hand-forged hook projected from the head of the small tuna. Thank you for watching. This is the end of part 5, to be continued in part 6. If you like the story, please like, share, and subscribe. See you then. Hasta la vista.